You don't need all this land, Amanda. My father's voice cut through the clinking of silverware. Sharp and final, as if the conversation had already been decided. The china rattled on the brunch table. I tightened my grip on my mug, forcing myself to keep calm while my family prepared their newest attempt to strip me of what was mine. At 32, I'd spent the last 5 years transforming my grandfather's farmland into a thriving organic business. 100 acres of soil, sweat, and purpose. To them, it was just dirt space that could be parceled and sold. To me, it was life itself. Grandpa left this land to me for a reason, I said, trying to keep my voice steady. I've built something. Real here. Katie, with her perfect hair and perfect family, leaned in with a sigh. My kids need space to grow. If your nieces and nephew deserve on, I don't, I snapped, surprising myself as much as her. I've poured everything into this farm, money, my future, my whole life. Mom reached for my hand, her practiced softness almost convincing. You're single, sweetheart, no husband, no children. Katie knees I pulled away. I have a family. My workers, my customers, the community that depends on this land. That matters. Dad's hands slammed against the table, and I jumped like I used to as a child. This isn't about your little garden project, Amanda. This is about family. My garden project supplies half the restaurants in town. It keeps 15 people employed. And I'm not giving it up for Katie's backyard. You're selfish, Katie hissed. The words stung more than they should have, but I held her gaze. My blood, my time, my life is in this soil. No one is taking it. Dad's face turned red. We've already promised Katie the land. Contractors are coming next week. My mug nearly slipped from my hand. You what? Mom's voice was almost gentle. It's already in motion, honey. Katie's house will sit where your greenhouse is. I pulled out my phone, fingers trembling, and opened my security app. My throat closed as images appeared, men in suits marking my land, my greenhouse, my property. Get out, I whispered, my voice shaking. Get out of my house. Don't be dramatic. Katie rolled her eyes. It's happening whether you like it or not. I turned to my father, his shadow looming, the same one I'd lived under for years. If you or anyone else sets foot on my land again without permission, I'll call the police. He leaned closer, his voice low and dangerous. I'm your father. This is family land, no. My land, legally, morally, in every way that matters. The silence that followed was thin, stretched to the breaking point. Finally, they left. But his last words lingered like a curse. We'll see about that. The next morning, I woke to the grinding roar of machinery. Running outside, I froze. My father on a bulldozer ripping through my gardens, Katie pointing where she wanted her house. My mother standing proud as though supervising progress. Stop. I screamed, but the machine kept moving, tearing 5 years of my work into shreds. You had your chance, Dad shouted. This is for family. I raised my phone, recording. My hand shook, but my voice didn't. I'll call the police. You wouldn't dare, Mom snapped. Not against your own father. Watch me. Sirens cut through the air minutes later, freezing them in place. Dad's hands went still on the controls, his face pale. And I knew this was only the beginning. The weeks after blurred into lawyers' paperwork. Accusations. Dad faced charges for destruction of property. Katie filed a lawsuit claiming verbal promises gave her rights to the land. Lies layered on lies. But Grandpa had prepared me. On the morning of the hearing, I brought a leather portfolio I had kept hidden for years. Inside was his insurance against all of the Sletter's recordings, and one statement written just before he died. The courtroom hushed as Martha, my lawyer, played the first video. My family pressuring Grandpa to sell the farm, calling him outdated, telling him they knew best. My father's voice, cold and commanding, "Just sign it over." Katie's lawyer objected. Overruled. Letter after letter followed, each one proof of years of manipulation. Finally, I handed over the notarized statement. Grandpa's words filled the room. The land should never be divided. He left it to me because I was the only one who saw what he saw. My family's faces shifted: anger, panic, disbelief. Then the final blow. If anyone contested my ownership, they forfeited their inheritance. Katie's trust funds gone. Her scream echoed through the courtroom. "You knew. You knew and still let us sigh. Told you to leave it alone," I said quietly. "You never listen." They withdrew their claim before the day was done, but the attacks didn't stop. They tried a different battlefield: public opinion. Mom weeping to neighbors, Dad painting me as heartless. Katie sobbing on social media about her stolen future. And that was when I revealed the last secret, Grandpa's final letter. His voice from beyond the grave. The land wasn't only farmland. Beneath it lay a natural spring with unique mineral properties. Water rights worth millions. Dad had known for years. His obsession, his rage, suddenly made sense. I laid the geological reports before the court. Martha revealed Dad's attempts to sell rights he didn't own. The judge's ruling was swift maximum restitution, a restraining order, and silence from the family that once thought they could take everything from me. Outside, Mom tried one last time. "Amanda, please, share it with us. We're family." Family. I smiled a tired smile. "You chose greed over me long ago." 5 years later, the farm thrives, bigger than ever. We built an educational center, teaching sustainable farming to anyone who wants to learn. The spring remains untouched, our quiet secret, nourishing the land as it always has. My family is gone from town. Their reputation ruined, their ambitions withered. Sometimes Katie's kids reach out, curious about the farm they once thought would be theirs. I let them visit, show them what Grandpa truly left behind: a legacy. Not money. Every morning I walk the rows, hear the soil breathe, feel the water flow beneath my feet. And I remember the land was never theirs to take, was always mine to protect. Sometimes revenge isn't loud. Sometimes it's just the quiet certainty of standing your ground until the truth reveals itself.